It's one of those days. Well, here's our first question sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Ron in Cleveland. Everyone is talking about the alleged sale that may or may not be happening by WWE. Call me crazy, but we have heard Disney buying WWE. I find it somewhat strange that the Khans are billionaires and own pro sports teams, but are not in talks to buy WWE. Disney has allegedly leaked. Oh, that's the entire sentence.
Disney's leaking?
I guess he means maybe the rumor.
He better get that stopped up. It might be contagious.
There logically would be a few big corporations interested in that property. I would imagine the billionaire family who happens to be the next biggest promotion would be as well. But that's just me. What say you, Jim? This is sent from my iPhone.
Oh my God. Okay, let's come back to reality for just a second or so. Just because that Shad Khan gave Tony some of his inheritance before it was, too late for Shad, so he could still see what Tony did with it. They've invested nowhere near. What is the price of the WWE if it were to be sold? If they're going to sell it, they're not going to take less than $4 billion, right? Somewhere in that neighborhood, that area, right? And a gold egg, right, Vince?
Ah, yeah, Nick Khan.
Yeah. And how would the Khan family, have they yet sunk $100 million into wrestling that they haven't gotten back with the TV rights deal, fee, whatever? That's worlds apart. Didn't somebody say that his net value in the Forbes thing was listed as like $8 billion? Are you going to expect them to take half of their worldly possessions and turn around and buy the WWE? Nobody is going to buy the WWE, a major corporation. Well, Brian, you're the business mind here on the program, but no person or family is going to buy the WWE. It's going to be a major corporation like a Disney or a Universal or Amazon or Google or one of these multi-$100 billion corporations. That's where it's going to go. And would the Khans be crazy? Yes. Call me crazy. Okay. Yes, they would be. To even attempt that. They're doing pretty well, all things considered, with what they've started now, but they do not want to jump into that fucking morass or morass. What do you think, Brian?
I don't think it would be a good move for the Khans. I don't think it would make sense. And I think Tony Khan's doing just fine and having a really good time with his own thing. It would be a bunch of headaches. I don't think it makes any sense for Disney. I think it makes sense for Comcast, NBC. I think it makes a lot of sense for Liberty Media. That may be something that's not a attractive name out there, but that's one of the ones I would look at because they're trying to make some aggressive moves right now. I think it's going to be someone who is a content distributor who's trying to really establish a streaming presence, which is, every fucking content distributor right now and content creator. But I don't think it makes any sense for Disney because I don't think it's anything that would help in any way at their theme parks. I think a company that has such a firm grip on their intellectual property to the point where you can't put Mickey Mouse on a tombstone. Seriously, you can't do anything Disney related in a school play and use their music. If they find out, they'll come after you. Like, they're fucking hardcore with their intellectual property. How are you going to deal with that? What do you really own with Hulkamania? What do you really own with The Undertaker? It's the gimmick. You're going to have random generic Undertakers walking around the theme park, and then how are you going to keep that personality alive in the future? It's a lot easier with a Disney princess than with a dead wrestler. So I don't think it makes any sense for fucking Disney. And I think knowing some of the people who are on that board of directors, I don't know if they would think it made a lot of sense either. But, a lot of stupid people do stupid things, and it only takes one stupid owner. It's a baseball philosophy. It takes one stupid owner. It takes one stupid millionaire or billionaire and it changes the ballgame. And I just don't think Disney makes any sense. I think Liberty Media makes a lot of sense. I think NBC has already shown their business interest with WWE would probably be the easiest transition, but a sale's going to happen. It's just a matter of who.
And I know that a lot of people said, well, the theme park thing, the wrestling theme park, what are you going to ride a fucking suplex roller coaster or what? Unless they can figure out a way where the wrestling fans can go to the theme park and actually put on a robot or mechanical suit that makes you a good wrestler, and you get in some schlub gets in this mechanical suit and the suit knows how to wrestle and you can actually be in the suit and have a match without getting hurt. That might be a theme park attraction for wrestling fans. I don't see wrestling fans wanting to fucking bring the kids to go tug on, like you said, the fake Undertaker's pant leg because
Ric Flair's dick. Go tug on that. What are you going to do in a wrestling fucking theme park?
The adult fans are the ones that want to tug on the Undertaker's fucking pant legs. The kids would be like, can we go see the mouse? So, but they're going to, in some way or another, I can predict this. Whatever sale it happens where the WWE is absorbed, whenever it takes place by a bigger entity to do whatever, it will be more sanitized, more homogenized, less like pro wrestling, relying less on the individual guys and more on the people playing the parts that they come up with, and it'll be the shits. So actually, it'll be shittier now or shittier then than it is now, and we think now it's the shits. It'll be the drizzling shits.
You know, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who he worked for WWE, but he's not really involved with wrestling, but he still goes to like the Garden, and he knows people who work in the office, but he has nothing to do with wrestling. And he told me that he saw a funny thing at the last Garden show. He said he had never seen anything like it before. And maybe it's, you know, again, he's someone who was there and he never saw it, but maybe to the average person it wouldn't mean much. But he said in the middle of the show, while matches are going on, there's Nick Khan schmoozing with people around ringside. Not in the back. You know, you can't see Vince McMahon out there doing that. I mean, that's the thing. That's, I guess, why the visual was so striking. Here's the head of the company, other than Vince. Here's the real head of the company right now. And he's out there schmoozing while the show's going on. While the wrestling event is going on. He's out there schmoozing. What do you think of that?
Well, obviously, the average fan doesn't have a clue what Nick Khan looks like. So he's able to do that. Vince was always, since before he was in a position of responsibility, he's always been a television figure because he was the announcer. So he would be ringside as an announcer at the Garden whenever they did the live specials or whatever. And obviously he's been a part of, you know, televisions that have been there. But since he was a performer, Vince would not go out in the Garden as the boss of the company, because before he became Mr. McMahon, he wasn't publicly acknowledged as the boss. And after he became Mr. McMahon, he was a performer on the show that shouldn't just be walking around shaking hands with people at ringside. So it's not an apples and apples comparison, but I think the biggest thing is that Nick Khan, if he's schmoozing with people at ringside in, you know, the world's most famous arena, it's people they're trying to do business with. And he can get away with that because the average fan doesn't know what he looks like. It doesn't detract from the match or distract or cause a stir.
All right. Well, that answered that question. And we will now move on as soon as I locate another question. And let's, again, just random questions.
Just randomly.
This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. This one was sent.
You wanted it to be. You made us do this, people. This is what you wanted. You made it this way. We didn't want to treat you like this, but you wanted it. You made us do this.
This one was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Chad.
Chad? Oh, Chad.
Please elaborate.
Look at all my beautiful stars.
Please elaborate if Charlotte Flair was created in some tank. and they used generic genes that made her DNA forget to form hips. Whoa!
Oh, come on.
That's what the email says. It says, whoa.
Jesus.
It could happen to you. These are the questions that we are getting sent.
And possibly now one question that's being answered is, why don't they read any more of the viewer questions that don't come from Charlie in Starkville?